And greetings, everyone. What's up? What's up? This is Satek Ananda from the BodyJuggling Zendo here in Dallas, Texas. And what was the last thing you said right before we started recording?
Someday my belly will be less sticky outy than my boobs.
That's a vision board quote right there. You got to have goals, people. It's all about goals. That's a measurable goal. She can quantify that. That's the secret to change, is setting an actual bar so that you know when you've achieved it.
No, my belly does not really stick out further than my boobs.
Okay, so this is day 4. Day 4. And this really interesting thing has started happening. Like I record all my sessions with all my students and teacher trainers, and what's starting to happen is the names is starting to represent the person's main issue, right? So instead of being Body Juggling Bar Melissa Session 2 or whatever, this one is called Bipolar Body Juggling Bar.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's interesting is how I categorize it is going to be directly related to whatever it is that you're bringing to the experience. Make sense?
Okay.
Whatever it is that you're expressing the most struggle with, the most challenge with, the thing we want to change the most, that's the thing that I'm going to start naming for each people. So like Mary's is now fibromyalgia body juggling bar,
Right.
yada yada. In hindsight, I realized that's great for keyword, like search and stuff, but that's not why I did it. I just did it because I was trying to figure out a way to structure these in my own mind so I know how to find the things that they're dealing with, because I have so many that it's hard to find any given one that I'm looking for.
Right.
So that's what it's about, and that name will change based on what you're dealing with. And as we go through and address, and my main concern is the relationship between you and your life around you, and even more specifically than that, the relationship between you and yourself. That's the primary thing that I'm interested in and I'm going to search for, and the tools that I'm teaching you, that's the primary skill that they're going to give you, is a new way to relate to yourself. And when you relate to yourself in a new way, you're going to inadvertently relate to your environment in a new way. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Awesome. So today, this is day 4. She's been on the bar every day for at least an hour. Today, we're going to move away from the ball for a couple of different reasons. One of which is I want to take you into a deeper experience of Qigong, Tai Chi. I want you to feel what we call Qi, and for everyone's information, Qi is not a concept, it's not anything you need to believe in, it's nothing esoteric, it's a sensation, it's a tangible sensation, the way like everybody knows what heat feels like, everybody knows what cold feels like, everybody knows what heavy feels like, everybody knows what air and wind feels like. The idea of feeling Qi is knowing what gravity and space feels like. When you can really feel gravity and you can use it as a part of your natural movement, you begin to feel space as you move through it. And that feeling of space is what we call Qi. And the more of it we feel, the more open our awareness becomes, the softer our muscles get, the more blood flows, the more cells begin rebuilding themselves, because the cells only rebuild themselves when the system is in a relaxed state. And you know how often you're in a relaxed state nowadays, right?
Never.
Okay, probably not even when you're sleeping, because of how your mind works. So your body is probably doing the same stuff while you're sleeping, right? So a huge part of the healing potential of Tai Chi is that you're systematically creating an awakened and aware state of relaxation in the body and the mind. And it's based on feeling rather than thought, which makes it a lot easier to do than something like meditation, which everyone is intimidated by because you can't control your mind. So how am I supposed to sit here and control my mind, right? You don't have to worry about your mind with Tai Chi. You're going to be working with your body. And the sensation of the body will keep you focused and present. So we're going to work with Tai Chi, and then we're going to work with weight sharing, which is just my favorite way of helping people relax. sort of like dance, sort of like massage. And then we're going to move into authentic movement, which is about taking that feeling of the space, that softness, that openness, into an expressive place. So you're not being passive and you're not copying. You're going to go inside and you're going to let your body move itself without the mind, without judgment, without goals, without fear, without regret. No past, no future. You're just going to let the body move and watch what happens and feel. More importantly, feel what happens. So we'll do that on the floor first, then we'll take it to the bar and use the same principles on the bar, but with no ball. So that way you were sitting on it and she was playing and she was like, with no ball, this just makes me feel like a kid. Right? So yeah, so that's how we're going to do the bar. And I'll explain authentic movement when we get to it. But we're going to do our Tai Chi first. Do you have any questions about any of what I just talked about, or with how you're experiencing your life now?
I am ready to go.
Okay. Did you remember to visualize how you wanted to feel in the morning?
I wanted to wake up and be ready to go.
And how did you wake up?
I woke up 2 minutes before the alarm clock went off.
And did you get ready to go?
I got up and I was here.
Booyah. So yesterday morning, she kind of struggled with getting up and coming. It was like and so I gave her an assignment to visualize how she wanted to feel when she woke up in the morning, and apparently it worked. Would you
I would categorize it as working.
It's a pretty neat little trick, so I want you to keep doing it.
Okay.
Okay. Like I said, the experiences I can create inside of here are totally real, right? But I can't help you create them out there. You have to take these principles, these practices, and you have to make it a part of your life and actually do it, and then you'll get the results. But I can't make you do it out there. But what happens in here, this is my house. This is my house. All right, let's go. Okay, stretch anything you need to stretch really quick. Check in with your own body. Always start anything you do by stretching your own body, because nobody knows what your body feels like better than you. Unless you have a really, really good lover. All right. I'm going to start by shaking the hands. Imagine that you're flicking water off your fingertips. As you shake your hands, notice the feeling of vibrations moving through the arms, moving up into the shoulders. If you relax the shoulders, you'll feel those vibrations moving into your chest. Let those sensations move all the way to the top of the head and all the way to the bottom of the feet. Stretch the shoulders any way they need to relax, and then slowly we're going to let the hands float up, still flicking them, flicking all the way overhead. And then we're going to stretch really tall like you're hanging from your wrists. Let that stretch go all the way down to the sacrum. Now from the fingertips, melt down like wax, curling, melting, bending forward slowly, gently rolling down into forward fold. Not pushing, but just relaxing down. Wiggling the hands, wrists, head, neck, shoulders, anything that needs a wiggle. Inhale, rolling out one vertebra at a time. Arms floating up, stretching tall, like you're hanging from the wrists. And from the fingertips melting down like wax. Wiggle anything needs to wiggle. Inhale, curling up. One vertebra at a time. Arms float up. And then we're stretching one arm high and then the other. Letting the ribs stretch out. Good. Clasping the fingers together, palms face the ceiling. Big circle on the ceiling. Reverse. Palms face down. Put one arm behind the head. Gently flex to the side. Switch. 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 And back to the center. One arm in front, other arm underneath the elbow, pulling in gently, rotating up and down softly. Relax that right rotator cuff. We want to use the movement like a massage, so that every movement is relaxing the joints, the ligaments, the tendons. If you relax your joints, the major muscles, the primary muscles will all relax as well. They can't be tight if the joints and the tendons are soft. So, I was telling you about the word luscious yesterday, right? Luscious and delicious. It's a word I'm going to use over and over again. You want to make a movement luscious and delicious. Good example. This, nothing luscious about that. Nothing that makes you want to do that. Same movement. Ooh, yum, yum. Can I get a plate of that? Right? So we want to make every movement luscious so that it makes us feel good. Right? The point of moving is to feel better, to open things, to relax things. Good. Release. Scoot up just a little bit. And not that far. Back. Good. And here. Arms loose and floppy like limp noodles. Relax the hips, the knees, and the ankles. Breathe deep. And pay attention. Your hands should be flopping into your body if your shoulders are soft. There you go. Notice what softness feels like. Notice what gravity feels like, pulling the arms in and down. It's always there, always present. And then notice what the arms feel like moving through space. Back to the center. Good. And shoulder rolls. Isolate the right. Hold the right still, only the left. Big circle. Good. Switch. Now alternate. Let that stretch go down into your spine, so you're really letting the spine flex to the side laterally, opening the rib cage, the serratus muscles. Good, back to center. Hip circles. Search for the places that are tight. Search for the resistance. Search for the pain. And use the movement like a massage. If you're massaging someone, when you find the knot is what's going to hurt. And that's exactly where the pressure needs to be applied. So when we move, we want to search for the place that's afraid. We want to search for that pocket of pain. And we want to use the movement to release the pain. Is that the biggest circle you can do? Let me see a bigger circle. Good. And feet together. And circles with the knees. So Tai Chi is just dynamic relaxation, systematic dynamic relaxation. And we cover every major joint in the body. Like I said, if you relax the joints, the primary muscles can't help but relax as well. That's where they get their tension from, is from the joints, the ligaments, the tendons. Circles with the heels. And reverse. Switch. Reverse. Good. Warm ups, warm ups, warm ups. Nice. Warm the hands up. You're going to apply friction so you're making heat. Arms down at the sides. Notice what they feel like. I'm going to raise the arms up overhead. Close the eyes and notice what they feel like. Notice how you know your arms are over your head. It's because of the feeling. When I say release, we're going to let them go, and you're going to let the arms swing as long as they can naturally until they stop. Don't force them to swing. Just let them swing as long as they can naturally. And release. Notice when they stop. Search for that exact moment when they stop. And notice that even once they stop, you can still feel movement. Tiny, tiny sensations of movement. Beautiful. Arms up again. Notice how you know they're up. That's what they feel like. And release. Good. So the longer the arms swing, the more relaxed you are. We're going to do it one more time and really pay attention to the sensation of relaxation, the weight of the arms themselves as they move through space. Arms up and release. Beautiful. Now notice what the arms feel like. Notice what the weight feels like. Notice what the palms feel like. Notice what the fingertips feel like. Now we're going to let the hands float up so slowly we can't feel them move. Notice that you can't. No matter how slowly they move, you feel them moving. Otherwise, you wouldn't know they were moving. It's this internal sensation of movement, of weight, of space, of gravity that we're talking about when we refer to chi. Now let the hands sink so slowly you can't feel them move. Beautiful. Now very, very slowly, very softly let the palms twist to face each other, holding a ball in front of the navel. Breathing through the palms of the hands like you have gills in the centers of your hands. Inhale and exhale through the palms. And notice what that visualization feels like. Breathing in and out through the palms. Now, as softly and as effortlessly as you can, inhale, let that ball expand just a tiny bit. Exhale, contract just a tiny bit. Inhale, expand. Exhale, contract. Focusing on the sensation of space as you move through it. Beautiful. Now with the shoulders completely relaxed, hands are going to float up like helium balloons. Inhale. Splash the face with electric chi water. Palms turn down. Exhale, drain down. Now relax even more. Inhale, floating. Splash the face. Exhale, draining down. Inhale, floating. Exhale, draining. Letting each repetition get softer and more effortless than the last. In fitness, we do reps to create tension inside the body, inside the muscles. In Tai Chi, we do reps to release the tension. So we want to become more and more effortless with every repetition, using the breath to move the body, and relaxation to feel space deeper and deeper. Now the fingertips lead up. Inhale all the way up. Palms turn out. Exhale down all around a big sphere. Inhale, floating up. Exhale down all around. All the way up through the spine, out through the crown. Visualize exhaling down around the whole body. Beautiful. Left hand floats over the third eye. Right hand floats over the root. Shoulders completely relaxed. Arms floating like seaweed in the ocean. Breathing through the palms like you have gills in the centers of your hands. Now with the inhale, let both hands switch places as effortlessly as possible. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. exhale. Softer and softer with each repetition. Both hands float over the heart center. And we tumble forward very slowly, very softly. Imagine your hands are winding taffy. Now move so slow you can't feel yourself move. Notice what happens to the sensation. Notice how we increase awareness. Open the heart center and let that taffy be pulled out of the heart, wrapping around the hands, pulling the armor off of the heart. Letting the heart feel that whirlpool that we're building. Beautiful. Both hands float in front of you, palms facing up. With the shoulders completely relaxed, let the hands float up like helium balloons until you can feel the shape of your face without actually touching it. Explore the shape of your face. Visualize that space, that connection, however you feel it. What does it look like in your mind's eye? Now as the hands begin to sink down like helium balloons, let that connection stretch out like taffy. The hands come all the way back down, still stretching, still feeling that connection. Now letting the palms gently float towards each other. See how close you can get the hands together without actually touching. Notice what that space feels like. Explore the sensation of that space, that awareness. What's it feel like? Hot. Do you have any other sensational experience of it?
Somebody tried to hold bird.
A baby bird. I've never heard that one before. For me, it feels like magnetic polarity. Like two magnets that don't want to touch. Check it out. So I'm going to turn this way. I want you to watch my hand and notice what the space feels like. Make sure that your body is soft and you're floating like seaweed, not stiff. So don't put your feet together. Yep, shoulder width apart, Tai Chi style. Hips relaxed. Knees should always be soft and relaxed. If your knees are locked, your body's rigid. If your knees are soft, it can float, right? So I want your body to float like this. Let's see. Yep. That's necessary for you to be able to feel space. So as I get closer, my other palm is heating up. What do you feel? Heat doesn't pull you. Do you feel yourself being pulled? Like in water? If water moves and ebbs like this, whatever's in the water moves with it. Nice.
I would think that was just because I'm mimicking.
Nope, close your eyes. I'm going to the front and the back. So the polarity of my magnets is meeting in the middle of your body. You can peek if you need to, and you can keep your eyes closed if that helps you feel better. Pay attention to what you feel. Soften, see when you float. See when when you're floating, I can feel you better. I can feel you better. Yeah. Cool. What's your guess what my hand is? Don't do it out loud, just figure out where you feels like my hands are.
It's okay now. How's it going?
Now keep your eyes open and relax and notice what you Did any of your feelings correlate to the movement?
Couple.
Okay, come here.
Not like I thought.
It never happens like we think. So as we were doing the Qigong, did you feel space? Could you feel space as you were moving through it? What did it feel like?
Heaviness.
Heavy,
Weight.
nice, yeah, like weight, like pressure.
A lot of times, like suction.
Suction,
Have
yes.
you ever put your hand in like a paraffin bath?
Yes.
Kind of like that.
Oh, that's nice. I've never heard that visualization either, but yeah, I love those things. Those are
Like
great.
it's like soaking into something.
Yeah, and then when you pull out, it's like,
Mm-hmm.
that's perfect. What did you mean by baby bird? I didn't.
Like it was wiggly. Like
wiggly. Oh, that's great. Like little feathers, like.
Yeah, because
Oh, that's
you're
great.
like you don't want to squash it.
Right. Okay. So, what you were feeling is what we call qi, and in most Tai Chi classes, it takes people 6 months to a year to begin to feel that, because they don't teach it from a perspective of relaxation. They teach it like really complicated dance, like wear your hand and twist this and do that. And so you're doing all these things and you're thinking. It takes you a long time to get into feeling. People can feel qi immediately if they just relax and they move through relaxation. Everyone describes it, everyone feels it differently. That's why I like to talk to people about what it feels like. Some it's tingles and some it's paraffin, which I just love that. I'll probably use that visualization. And that sensation, the more we focus on it, the more we move through that feeling, the more every part of the body relaxes and the more every part of the body feels deeply, right? And our awareness increases, our sensitivity increases more and more. And it can become intense, like it can start to, you get tense in certain muscles. If you have any tension in your body, it's going to pull there. You start to feel mentally fried, like if you do Tai Chi for a full hour, and you're doing this, that was like maybe 15 minutes, like a warm-up. You do that for like an hour, you can start to feel fried, but it's a question of bandwidth. How much energy, how much awareness are we moving through the body at a time? And when we do Tai Chi, we're increasing that awareness every single rep. We're going deeper, and the mind is getting bigger, and the body is getting softer, and we're feeling further into that space around us. And by the time we're doing this one, I can feel this whirlpool in front of me. Just like if you did this in water, the water would keep moving. Space works the same way. So you're making a vortex.
So we're doing this, and you're saying it's warmer and warmer, and then you said, okay, now pull the string from your heart and allow your head, like there. I mean, it could have been like a snap sound, like it was like. It was like, no.
So tell me about that. Tell me what you think that means. Tell me what that felt like. Like, tell me about that.
Well, I'm pretty sure it's exactly what it sounds like. You were like, pull the thing, and I was ah.
Right.
Because it was like your hands were all warm and everything, and then it was like, stop, no, cold, go back.
As soon as the heart starts to feel that warmth too.
It was like right when you said it. It was like, you know how it's like people do something but they don't know they're doing it until you point it out?
Yes.
I was like,
that's beautiful.
Suck.
That's beautiful. And thank you for sharing that. And through all the stuff, all the wonderful games that we're going to play, please share those kinds of experiences, because that's the exact feedback that everybody needs to hear, because everybody's afraid to open their heart. And that's the point of that visualization. Is giving you a tangible sensation of, oh wow, there actually is armor on my heart. And the things they call chakras, right, in yoga, they don't physically exist in the body, but energetically they're like whirlpools. Like energetically they're real vortexes. And the heart is a real one. And it's the heart is the window to the soul in reality.
It's like when you go to Reiki therapist, right?
Qigong is the exact same thing as Reiki. Reiki is just Calvin Klein's version of it. It's just branded energy. Okay. Now, if you talk to somebody that does Reiki, they'll swear to you, no, Reiki is special energy, and you have to receive it from my master, and he must attune you, and whatever. it's all energy. It's like getting in the pool and going, I peed right here. This is different. This is different water. This is okay. So give it 5 minutes and then try to find your pee, bro. Like you cannot brand energy, people. Okay, so you don't have to go get Reiki from somebody to do this stuff. You just have to relax and move, and you have to practice relaxation and movement. And what happens is when you relax, it opens your field, and then when you come into someone else's field, whether they're relaxed or not, they feel it, and it changes their relaxation level, And so I don't know if you've noticed it, but when I was doing this, you weren't consciously feeling anything, but your body started to sway, and everybody does. And I've done it in front of crowds of people, have a person close their eyes, do this, and in just a couple of seconds they're doing that. Because you mentioned that suction, like that paraffin suction, that's there. And if your body is stiff, you're not going to feel it. But if your body is soft and floating, that suction is going to pull you, And it's just like gravity, okay? A lot of people, especially like non-spiritual people, like scientific-minded people, logical people, therapist people, like sciencey people, they literally do not want to conceive that you can feel me from here. That's like witchcraft to them. It's like there's no possible way your consciousness could experience this point. And so then they'll start, oh, it's heat. It's like I feel wind. It's all this stuff their mind will try to justify, right? It doesn't matter what kind of ideas you put on stuff. It doesn't matter what kind of labels you put on stuff. If you relax, you feel different. The space around you, the space you're inside, it feels different. And I say a lot, it's like being in a pool. When you're in water, you feel that you're in the water. You can feel the volume of the water. And if I start jumping up and down, you're going to start bouncing, right? Although this seems like empty space, guess what? It's filled with sound waves that are doing this. It's filled with light waves that are doing this. It's filled with photons, with air. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's filled with shit. It's not empty. And if sound can do this in space, so can your body, because it's the only way your ears work, right? The air does this, and your ears are soft enough that they do that. And somehow they translate that into, you know, my country 'tis of thee, like, you know, how our brains process that from, because the sound is basically just like Morse code, beep, 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 you know, but it's because this is a medium. Space is a medium, and it's not separate from us. We are part of it, the same way we're part of the pool. When we get in the pool, we're part of the water. And if someone knocks out half the pool and all the water goes that way, what happens to us? Okay? It's the exact same thing. It's just a subtle version of it. And the easiest way to conceive of it is gravity. Okay? You logical, sciencey, whatever people, gravity, look, watch, magic. There's nothing underneath me, but I got pulled down. Okay? It's magic. There's nothing there. But guess what? There's a connection, right? Hello? There's a connection. There's a connection here too. And it's the same thing. I mean, it's not, this doesn't work the same as gravity because I'm not, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't work the same way. The relationship isn't the same. Gravity can be equated to love. Gravity is just come here. Just come here. Chi, to me, typically feels like polarity of magnets. It feels like two magnets, like that don't want to touch. And in my mind, I hear like lightsaber sounds. You know? And so it's almost the reverse of gravity. Gravity is pulling, right? But on the atomic scale, energy pushes away from each other. That's how we end up with matter. Things that feel real is there is no matter, right? Like the particles in your atoms aren't things. They're just sparks of energy. And this energy, pushing that energy away, makes it appear solid. I can't go through it, but I'm not actually touching my skin. I'm hitting a magnetic barrier. Like that's what's happening on a molecular scale. And it's more like that repulsion energy is what I feel when connecting with the feeling in the space of chi. And the same way you could feel my hand right here, with a little more time, a little more practice, a little more relaxation, I can put you on the other side of the room, and I can point at you, and I can move my hand. You're going to feel my hand moving. Done it over and over again, right? It's about how soft we are. That increases our sensitivity level. And the easiest way to conceive of it is when someone goes blind. Their hearing gets much more attuned. They hear way more things because they have to focus their attention. We're doing the same thing. We're focusing our attention on sensation, and so the sensation, the awareness of the sensation gets bigger and bigger the same way hearing gets bigger and bigger if you keep your eyes closed. The exact same thing. We're increasing sensitivity. Okay, so now we're going to take that sensitivity into deep relaxation, partner style, because it's fun and cathartic and beautiful. Okay. So weight sharing. All this is once again dynamic relaxation. Okay, so your body is going to be like a tree, but not like an oak tree. Stiff, it's going to be like a shoot of bamboo. Okay? Strong, but flexible. And when I say give me your weight, you're going to let your ankles melt like butter and fall into me, and you're not going to balance your own self until I tell you to take your weight back. Okay? So when I say give me your weight, now you've given me your weight. I can feel that I have your weight. So if I take you back to here, you don't start balancing, you keep, yep, good. Okay, so that's the only thing I need for you to do. And then just consciously let your body relax a little bit more as it feels natural. Close your eyes. No. So feel. Eyes open. Softness, relaxation. Straight, don't let your hips sag like that. Don't fall. And that's a little bit more than that. So let's say straight and soften. What you do there? No. You stop letting me have your weight. Look at your feet. Relax your ankles. Relax, 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 relax. So I'll pull you back here. You don't stiffen here. What are you doing? Oh, whoa. Thank you. Stop taking your weight. I can feel that when you take your weight back. Stop taking your weight. It insults me. I'll take it first. I told you don't take your weight back. Yes, good. I told you don't take your weight back once I have it. Thank you. Control freak. Let it go. And what happened was, as soon as you did that, all this stuff got tight again. It softened up, and then it got tight. So, I don't know what tight means. So when you're coming back, don't drop your hips. Let your body fall backwards like a tree. Yeah. So, good. Yes, good. Now stop holding yourself. Stop it. Good. Nice. reach just a little bit, not far. Yeah, just a little bit. Just enough to feel your back relaxing a little bit further. A little bit further. And forward. Yeah. 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 Move your way. Now stretch and move your body and see how it feels. Focus and breathe. How's it feel? Weird. I'm guessing that's a good thing. All right. So tell me what that felt like.
Less restrained than usual,
Mm-hmm.
which was kind of weird. I don't know. After a while, it started to feel more natural, but it's like, whenever I could catch myself, even in like little ways, I would catch myself like I was digging my toes into the floor.
Right.
You know, just like instinctively, because it's really hard to like
Trust.
let go like that. Well, it's like I knew you weren't going to drop me, but at the same time, it was like, it was more worrisome to like undo my, like mentally, I know you're not going to let me fall, but it was just like hard to actually like unlock my parts to be like that fluid.
Right. You did a good job. You did a good job. And as you do this more, you'll feel that I can feel when you're resisting, when you're helping, when you're pulling back, when you're trying to take your own weight. I can feel it, and you're going to learn to feel that, and that's going to keep you honest, right? Because the whole goal is relaxing, and you saw. I mean, I'm assuming it felt good, right? It feels really good when we get odd. You don't have much experience with pleasing experiences, I think.
We can discuss that.
Right. So it's one of my favorite feelings in the world is weight sharing and really getting into that trust. It scares everybody, because we don't trust much. It's scary to trust, but that's necessary to healing. It's necessary to psychological comfort, stability, and it's a really easy lesson to learn in a container like that. So we're going to go from the strangeness of that experience into a much stranger experience. All right. So now we're going to go into, and I got to see what I think we started about an hour ago. You need to be out of here by 3:30. You said 3 or something. 3:30. Okay. Yeah. So we'll have maybe 15, 20 more minutes. We're going to do one round of authentic movement on the floor and then one round on the bar. And so here's the way authentic movement works. So mover and a witness. The goal of the mover, the only thing is you're going to start in one still position, eyes are closed, you're going to begin to let your body move, however it wants to move. The only rule is you don't move in patterns, so you're not going to get up here and do the jitterbug, or do Tai Chi, or anything, or yoga poses, right? It's about moving without structure. It's about feeling how the body wants to move itself, without preconceived thought, without thinking, without putting a story behind it, without making any meaning to it. You're just literally going to let the body move however it wants to. And it might be emotive, it might be lyrical, it might be just stretching. There's no parameters to how your body wants to move except what it creates. And so that's the point of all these rules, is setting it up so that your body can create its own experience without the interference of your mind. Okay? You can keep the eyes closed, because I think today you've seen the difference in how you experience when your eyes are open and when your eyes are closed. And when we started the weight sharing, your eyes were open like this, and I was like, oh yeah, she's not gonna relax at all. She's gonna be watching the ground. I'm like, whoa, like she's on a roller coaster or something. And when you closed your eyes, I immediately could feel you start to feel the space instead of looking at things, right? So that's part of what this eyes closed is about also. So that's the role of the mover. You're going to move as long as you need to. There is no time limit. If it's 30 seconds, that's fine. I would suggest going longer than that, because the deeper you're in there, the more cathartic your experience, the more tangible your experience is going to be. So don't just and then quit because I moved, I did it. Like really give yourself time to let your body. This is about your body, and give your body time to feel what it's like to move without ideas, without meaning. It's one of the most cathartic things in the world for me. The witness, the role is to watch very, very intently, like a meditation. You put all of your attention on the mover. And it's not about critiquing, it's not about remembering, it's not about anything other than just witnessing their natural experience, okay? But it has to be done like a meditation. If you're over here filing your nails and whatever, half of the equation of this process is missing. You have to have a witness for authentic movement. And so those are the only parameters, okay? I'm gonna go first so that you can see it's like achievable, it's doable. But do not think that yours needs to be anything like mine, right? You might often end up looking athletic or like expressive or whatever. I don't do that on purpose. That's just what my body wants to do, okay? But I'm going to go first and break the ice. Unless you want to go first.
You're fine.
That's what I figured, okay? But at the same time, people like get intimidated because they're like, I can't do that. You're not supposed to do that. Let me do me, and you do you, okay? Let me do me. I think that was Italian, I'm not sure. Okay, so scoot over so you're not blocking my catharsis. Why are you looking at me like an alien?
Because now you're going to want me to do that.
You were looking at me like, who the hell are you? Okay, so tell me what you felt while you were watching me.
Intimidated?
And?
It was really pretty, like really genuine. Like, I was really impressed. Like, it seemed like it was really, like, taking an effort. Like, it was, like, really, like, exertion.
Authentic.
Okay.
I don't know what you mean by exertion.
Like I could really see you, like,
committed.
using energy.
Committed.
Like you were picking up something heavier than yourself or something.
Oh, nice. Yeah, no, I like that. I always start with the feeling of my body and like the stretching, and then no matter how I stretch, it ends up telling my body a story, and my body just relates to the story, and I don't think about what I'm going to do, and I don't create meaning around it, but afterwards I can always feel like that's the first time I've ever vomited in authentic movement before. Like at the end, it was like a vomit. I was like, wow, that was interesting. I said cathartic, but I didn't think that as I was doing it. I'm not like, here's how we vomit. So I'm glad you had some other experiences besides just intimidation. Anything else that you felt?
I actually did see that at the end. I was like, what the fuck?
Is that why I figured that's why?
I was like,
why you were looking at me?
slash no.
Why you were looking at me like an alien, like, what club you been at? Nice. Glad to know that was red. For me,
I was like, I ain't doing that.
for me, I felt like a embryonic kind of birth, and then a grasping and an expansion and a like a lost, like a confusion. You know, after the expansion, I'm like, okay, so I'm here now. Where do I go? And then it was like the intensity of the confusion became the vomit. That was fun. All right, you ready?
No.
Awesome.
Oy.
Can't do it wrong, peeps. All you gotta do is say what? Who, me or you?
Well, me's everything.
Oh, goodness. Okay, so finding your starting position. No right or wrong place. No right or wrong movements, no right or wrong feelings. And you're going to let yourself move, follow the movement all the way through until it naturally concludes itself. Wow. Wow.
Why did you wow?
I felt a teenage girl in her bed vacillating between the joy and sensation of puberty and the sadness and crushing weight of depression. I saw the freedom of youthful sexuality and the oppression of like pain and inner, in this really neat back and forth yin and yang kind of thing.
Okay.
It's just what I felt. It has no meaning. Like, that's the whole point. It's just, so what did you feel?
Weird. It was really, really weird.
How so?
Well, I didn't think about it.
Nice. And how did it feel to not think?
Weird.
I love how there's no good with Melissa. It's either bad or it's weird.
Hey, sometimes it's odd.
Sometimes it's odd too. We have a different version. Okay, so tell me about this weirdness.
I didn't think about it. That's unusual. And then it was just done. Yeah, I was curious how it was like you're going to know when to stop.
That's a very good question. And how did you know when to stop?
It just stopped.
It just stopped. Thank you. Thank you. And would you say not thinking and letting the body do its thing was an experience you'd like to have again?
Possibly.
Once I decide if it's odd or weird, then I'll make a decision, because one goes that way and the other goes that way. It was very beautiful, and you won't have any way to process how beautiful it was until you watch it. But it was very beautiful for the same reason that you were impressed with mine, was because of the authenticity, the conviction, like it was there. And I didn't feel like you were pretending to be a teenage girl in your bed, but that was the energy of what I was seeing, the rolling and playing with the legs. It felt like an underwear commercial, you know. But then it turned around and felt like a Lipitor or whatever, one of those drugs for like, you know, manic, like whatever, like, you know. And then it was like, whoa, you know. And so it was this between this playful and this, but it was beautiful. And part of why it was beautiful is because it was so visceral, it was so real. And if you can't say that it was good and enjoyable, then that's fine. But we got serious shit to work on. We got serious shit to work on, because
Hey,
it
at least
sure looked good.
I didn't say embarrassing.
You didn't. Did it feel embarrassing?
No.
Good.
I expected it would.
You expected it would. That's nice. That's nice. So why do you think it wasn't?
Because I trust you.
Oh, thank you. What about them?
You are me.
Oh, wow, that's deep. That's deep. That's awesome. That's a very good way to think about any time you're presenting to camera, is instead of imagining the whole world and like, oh God, what do I say to them? Imagine that you're just talking to yourself in the future. And your future self knows if you're full of shit, right? Your future self knows if you're full of shit. So if you're talking to your future self and you just realize, like, I don't want to see myself full of shit later, and you just talk honestly, everything you do is going to be like that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Everything you do is going to be like that. It's going to happen that easily. You don't have to figure out, when do I start, when do I stop, what does this mean, what does that mean, right? It'll all just happen and take care of itself. You know? And that was gorgeous. So now we're going to take the same experience, but to the bar. And I tend to do really like soft, stretchy, operatic kind of shit. If you want to flip and like it's authentic movement, okay? It's not be pretty.
Okay, but I'm not doing that with mine.
That's probably a good decision. And once you started, I was really like, I almost wanted to go and grab the bar and lift it over you, because I was like, oh God, I hope she doesn't like do a roll, and like, so not good. Yeah, don't be near hard, pointy stuff when you're doing authentic movement, because you really lose concept of space. You have no idea which direction you're pointing or like whatever. So, all right, so we're gonna get to work here, put some music back on, and we're at just about an hour 20 now. So this will be our last thing. We'll finish up, and I now when I'm looking at this, I'm seeing you in the future. Nah. Don't you wish you were now? You can be now. In every moment. Come get some now. Okay, normally authentic movement is done with no music. Can you guess why?
So you don't try to pattern.
Exactly, because the music is going to lead you and affect you. I really enjoy using music with authentic movement because it gives you that thing to play with, you know? And so I alternate. Whenever people are first experiencing it, I always do it no music, just so you can have the pure feeling. On the bar, we're going to use music because it just helps with the play in the space. And I can give you soft and yogi or like groovy, jammy too. Just let me know what you want.
No busy time.
You don't want busy time. You're such a hater. That's the coolest song in the world, I'm just saying. It really just reminds me of a fun time. I don't have any objective appreciation of the quality of it. So I normally do slow songs on this, so I'm going to do a dancey track just to see what happens to be fun. And if you need to open your eyes because you're doing some acrobatic shit, then do that. You don't, you know.
crazy are you doing? Slow us down.
That was fun. I would have to do that with the fast music more often. I'm usually like the slow operatic stuff, so I'm all like, but that was fun. That was fun.
See, that's why you wear shoes.
You can put your shoes on.
No, it was just funny. We were like climbing the pole. Like,
That was sweet. I'm gonna have to remember that move. I don't even know what it was. It's here. I think one was there, and I did a walkover.
you were all Michael Jackson.
So tell me what you felt. Here, come over here, though. Talk to yourself.
Hi. That was really cool. I was really impressed. But again, I got that sensation that you are like carrying, like you're picking up something way heavier than you. Like your muscles like shake, like you're like picking up a car.
I have no idea. I don't feel like I'm picking up a car. I feel like I'm light. I feel like I'm.
Yeah, you feel like you're like that.
Well, I am built like a monkey. Like I have a really long torso and these little bow legs. Like my legs are like, yeah. So I'm kind of like this all the time.
I don't see that.
I totally see it. And every time I just see a little monkey walking around. And I mean, I grew up like my mom couldn't keep me out of trees and off houses, so I think I am part monkey. Awesome. Anything else?
I was just mostly impressed by how good you are with the bar, but obviously that would make sense.
Had a little experience with it. But none of that stuff have I ever done before. That's all, like, none of that's a routine. You know, I mean, I'll watch it and pick some of them out because I want to use them.
Yeah, that was pretty crazy.
That little flip one was nice.
Like some little parkour.
I felt play, man, and normally I use slower music and I feel some kind of cathartic operatic thing, but I didn't get any story from that. Well, at the beginning it was like Tarzan yoga. It was like Tarzan yoga at the beginning. I was like in a tree and waking up in the morning, rah, and then I just jumped out of the tree, I guess, and I was just swinging. It was just like
You went really far.
yeah, so that was fun. There was no like whatever. It was just fun, and I always loved the spirals, the spinning things. Wicked. I love that. I enjoy using the bar as much, if not more, than with the ball. But the ball is just such a great tool because you can do so many incredible exercises with it. So, but I always love to take it away from people. All right, you ready?
Yes.
Nice. Much better answer. Look at that. You're growing every day, every way. Getting better and better. Did you like that track? You want a different track? Like.
I don't care.
Don't try to be pretty. Be authentic and have fun. What? You said don't talk to you? You don't know me.
You don't know me. Wait.
All right. Okay, cool. Do another one.
That was fun.
Good. Go back there. I want you to do another one. And you're going to do this one stretchy and exploring the space.
Okay.
Instead of just staying in the middle and flipping, I want you to really stretch and explore. I know, that's awesome. Now I want you to explore the space more.
Okay.
To get more of the possibilities instead of just that thing. Ready? Exact same thing though, still authentic, just exploring, feeling, letting the body move itself. And whenever you're ready. Yep. Let the body play. Let it remember how to play. Remember how to feel. Nice. Nice. Hit pause over there. Me too. I was the everything. Everything was my jungle gym kid. You didn't have to build a jungle gym for me. I would climb on it either way. My little cousin's the same way. They'll look down. She's like 2 years old and she'll be standing on top of the minivan. she's a trip. She's a trip. Yeah, that's how they think of it too. But I'm like, oh, I remember that. Like, that's so cute. Awesome. So you went. So I tell what I felt. The first one I felt freedom. I felt play. I felt you getting something out of your system that you wanted to get out. But it was more of that everything revolved just around that flip and that hang. You know, it wasn't as explorative. It wasn't as emotive. And the second time was play as well, but it was way more freedom. It was like I felt like there was less restriction the second time, you know, because you really, when you start to see space as an invitation to play and move and explore, you get way more options than when you think just in linear, directions. So what did you feel?
That was fun.
Nice. Anything else?
See, I didn't say odd.
You didn't say odd. There we go. Growth. I love it. It's just that easy, people. Anything else, or just pure fun?
It was just fun.
Nice.
It was just super fun.
Nice. Awesome. Well, let me know when you watch it if you feel anything else when you're watching yourself do it. Okay. Because it definitely looked liberating would be the word that would come to me. Any questions about all the funny, silly games we played today?
No.
Good work. Good work. I'm excited about the potential. This is day 4. She's doing 6 days a week. And I'm going to make a bio piece on her because there's just so much good material there. So we're beginning to see what her story is and how she can best frame it and tell it. And then we'll see how you feel about your relationship to yourself at the end of this 2-week period. Because she committed to 2 weeks, and she's supposed to be going out of town soon. And once we see how you feel, what change has happened there, then we can figure out where to go from there and what needs to happen. But I'm very excited with your process in the last 4 days where you've come in terms of how you're relating to your body and how you're expressing it. 20 fucking push-ups. Real proud of where you're at so far, and so I look forward to seeing what's coming in the future.
All right, what push-up test is next?
Yes, we were supposed to do that today. We'll do that tomorrow morning. And we'll do the real PT test. She's got to do push-ups like a man because the girl push-ups are too easy. Booyah. All right, guys, let me know questions, thoughts, and comments. Share these with anybody you want to. This stuff is like more and more becoming experiential, so you guys can actually do this stuff instead of just sitting there and taking notes. You can like do all that Qigong with us. You can do authentic movement as we are, you know. So really use this stuff as the incredible tool and opportunity that it is, because never before in history have you been able to see every minute of a given modality and how it's offered and shared before now, and that's actually what's happening now, and that's an incredible volume, treasure trove of information that is like even teacher trainers can watch it. Like you don't even have to be like a student, you don't even have to pay, but only people that are paying tend to have the attention span, or doing it tend to have the attention span for it. So you know, I'm trying to figure out a way to do that, because I'd like to edit small, short versions of each one, like a trailer, the best moments from each one. But each one is an hour, hour and a half long, and that takes hours of time to edit, download off the internet, you know, edit, upload it, you know. So I gotta get like an army of assistants to be able to do that. But that's what's coming. That's what's coming. Each of these sessions will have a short teaser that will have all the major lessons in it, so you can just get a feel for it, like, you know, like Cliff Notes. I love Cliff Notes. And then you can refer to the long version if you're serious. If you're serious about mastery, because that's all it is. It's about induction, just getting inside of something and becoming it. Otherwise, see you guys next time. See you in the morning. Great work. Booyah.
Bye, Spider-Man.
I'm like Samurai Spider-Man.